Dr. Amelia Hernandez, a surgeon known for her steady hands and even steadier nerves, stared at the x-ray. A grim set to her jaw betrayed her usual calm demeanor. Across from her, Mr. Fitzwilliam, a man whose jovial nature had been replaced by anxious fidgeting, shifted uncomfortably. "Mr. Fitzwilliam," she began, her voice low and measured, "I have some news. The good news is, the surgery was a success. The tumor was benign and completely removed." Mr. Fitzwilliam let out a shaky breath, relief washing over his features. "And the bad news?" he asked, his voice barely a whisper. Dr. Hernandez hesitated, steeling herself. "During the procedure," she said slowly, choosing her words carefully, "there was a complication. We amputated the wrong leg." Mr. Fitzwilliam's face paled. His relief evaporated, replaced by a stunned silence that hung heavy in the air. He stared at her, his mouth agape, unable to speak. Dr. Hernandez braced herself for an outburst, but instead, a long moment passed before he spoke, his voice raspy. "And the other leg?" he finally managed to croak out. Dr. Hernandez took a deep breath. "The good news is," she said, a hint of a smile playing on her lips, "the other leg, the one we didn't operate on, was already showing significant signs of improvement. The inflammation had reduced considerably, and the pain, well, it's almost completely gone. We believe the initial diagnosis was slightly inaccurate. The problem was far less severe than we initially thought. We're confident it will heal fully, without any further intervention." Mr. Fitzwilliam stared at her, his expression a mixture of disbelief and dawning relief. The weight of the initial shock slowly lifted, replaced by a strange sense of absurdity. He chuckled, a low rumble in his chest, then burst into laughter. "Well, he exclaimed, wiping tears from his eyes. "I guess I've got one less thing to worry about." Dr. Hernandez smiled, relieved. The weight of her mistake was still heavy, but seeing Mr. Fitzwilliam's resilience, his unexpected humor in the face of such a bizarre turn of events, lightened the burden considerably. She knew she had a lot of explaining to do, but for now, she allowed herself a small moment of quiet gratitude. Sometimes, even in the midst of medical mishaps, there was still room for unexpected good fortune.